Second chance at a world title for Zepeda. An opportunity to stay the course for Ramirez.
Ready!
Freddie Roach versus Robert Garcia in the corners. Zepeda, Ramirez inside the ropes.
Zepeda fighting from that southpaw position. A little awkward for Jose to get that jab working, but he must not abandon his jab to set up his offense. And you saw right away, counterpunch right away, landed on the chest.
Stay off the feet
of Ramirez.
Dre, I assume you feel that he's going to have to take advantage of every counterpunch opportunity that's offered to him.
Yeah, Zepeda it's very early, obviously, but he's looking very sure of himself. He's under his legs, and he looks like he has a game plan, and he's focused and bent on executing that game plan.
Speaking of game plans, how much of a factor is it to have Freddie Roach?
No, it's great. I thought, it's great to have Freddie Roach because he can get the inside game. Freddie Roach understands that he needs to box tonight. Zepeda needs to box and box all night because Ramirez is tough. If he gets in the inside, well, it can be bad news for Zepeda.
And those are the X's and O's, but psychologically, no matter what Ramirez says, that's playing a part in this fight. But that is definitely something, if not in the forefront, it's in the back of Jose Ramirez's mind.
Roach being the early architect through the championship win of the career.
Ramirez has to get past that jab of Zepeda. Trying to figure it out. Ramirez just walking straight in, not really moving his head. Beautiful shot right by Zepeda. Yeah, Ramirez is straight in front of him. He's not moving laterally. He's just right directly in front, walking forward with his both hands high.
And keep in mind, this is only the second southpaw that Jose Ramirez has fought. The first southpaw was Mike Reed, a fighter that he beat in 2017.
And that was a win that put him in position to then have the fight against Imam when he won the title. What was to be his first title defense canceled when the opponent was severely dehydrated and hospitalized, so he didn't fight again until this past September.
Stop on the bell.
End of round one, a chance to catch up with Mark Kriegel.
In anticipation of this fight,
I think that first round, Ramirez was just getting a look at him, trying to feel the power of Zepeda, trying to gather range. And I think he's going to open up a little bit more as these rounds go on.
It's kind of interesting to me to hear Freddie Roach and Zepeda kind of concede the fact that Ramirez is stronger than him with them not even having fought yet. That was a bit odd to me. But I
feel the
understand
power, but it's acknowledged.
I understand what Freddie's trying to do. He wants to put his fighter in the mindset to box, and box some more.
And he's got to start getting inside, not with power punches, but tapping and working his way in, because Zepeda's fighting a smart fight.
Yeah, I remember sparring Zepeda and how slick he was. He was hard to hit. He don't look like a very defensive guy, but see how he steps around right there? And he's really good at that.
All right, get out.
In previous fights, Zepeda has not looked strong on his back foot, but thus far, he's looking strong on his back foot tonight.
See the 44-year-old Robert Garcia, who has been named Trainer of the Year in his career. In recent years, of course, famous for being the trainer, older brother of the great pound for pound.
See, Jose's doing a good job in getting outside position, but he's not letting his hands go. Ramirez already abandoned his jab. He's not using his jab at all and just walking straight in. And it's easy work for Zepeda. He's too smart and too slick.
This is the nuance of boxing. Zepeda is not doing anything astronomical, but he's doing a lot of the little things right, and that's keeping Ramirez off balance.
And keeping this crowd quiet, which is the kind of night he's going to need to be able to win the fight he wants to win. On points, going the distance, here on the road, in this setting with over 14,000 rowdy fans who will react to anything Ramirez does when he does it.
It's a nice sequence from Zepeda that could easily be missed. In the corner, he touched Ramirez with a right jab to the body, got his attention, and then came over the top with the overhand left.
Stop on the bell.
That's where Zepeda does not want to be.
On the other end, the body shots from Ramirez. Jose Zepeda, proud Mexican-American fighter himself. He was born here stateside, but then raised in Mexico in his early years, came back to California at 10 years old, and then started boxing at age 11.
See a little bit more urgency from Ramirez, but if I was in Ramirez's corner, what I would tell him is to shoot the right hand to the body. Hit the chest, hit the body, hit something on Zepeda, just like that.
Freddie Roach is very happy with how beautifully Jose Zepeda is boxing here early on in this fight, but now he wants him to start backing up Jose Ramirez.
Jose, when at this moment, Zepeda's doing well by using.
And I think that's I think that's the second layer of the game plan if you're Freddie Roach and Zepeda. So I am surprised that Freddie's calling for it as early as the third round.
To let him know that, hey, I'm here to fight.
And I'll say this, we just saw it right there. An overhand left from Zepeda. So keep an eye out for that as this fight progresses.
You got to sprinkle it in. You got to be judicious with those moments, but it has to exist. We talked to him about it yesterday.
And that's how you get your respect.
And also, Dre, you talking about that left hand. What I like for Zepeda, what he's doing is he's actually getting his head to the outside the left jab of Ramirez by shooting that left hand.
And now Ramirez looking to pick up the pace here in the final minute of round 3, closing that distance little by little and firing off.
See, Ramirez right now, what he's trying to do is he's trying to switch up some timing. You know, he's trying to get different looks in front to be able to inch a little bit closer to do some damage on Zepeda.
Nice exit from Zepeda right there in that corner.
Got himself out of trouble from that red corner. Right hand to the body, partially blocked as Ramirez came in. Still a well-managed, good start for the title challenger, Jose Zepeda. Ramirez, good attack. For the title defense of the wildly popular local hero, Jose Ramirez. But right now, it's Jose Zepeda in the white trunks, the feisty southpaw who's been boxing well. Round number 4.
Every now and then, Zepeda will step on the lead foot of Ramirez. It's a common southpaw versus orthodox problem.
Let's go to Bernardo, who's standing by with Freddie Roach.
Freddie, what does Zepeda have to do to keep Ramirez off of him?
Ramirez is very strong coming forward, and he's going to have to meet him with some really hard counter punches on the way in. I mean, and the biggest thing, we can't go to the corners of the ropes. He's too strong. But we see. I told him to stay in the middle, and I'll box this guy. Stay in the middle.
Well, we noted that in the last round, what Freddie was emphasizing there of getting those exits away from the corner. Did a nice job of getting out of the corner in the last round. Got to stay in the center, have to box, have to take advantage of countering opportunities. And now mauling on the inside as he turns over a left hand, does the champ.
You cannot get comfortable in the inside with Jose. He will let his hands go, and Zepeda got comfortable, try to tie up, and Jose just released the combination and was able to land a big right hand.
And this is where Ramirez has to trust the process. Obviously, he's been trying to work on the jab. He's been trying to work on setting things up. And even though things aren't going his way right now, he's got to trust what Robert Garcia has been teaching him.
You saw moments ago Zepeda complaining of a clash of heads to the referee, Marcos Rosales.
It's bagged off his jab.
And that could be a costly mistake. Yes, orthodox versus southpaw fighters, you always have to watch for the foot position and the possibility of a clash. And we got it moments ago. Again coming in, and there was a second clash of heads. Now there is some blood, it appears, coming from Ramirez after they both came in. Let's show you what happened in the closing moments of round number 4. Look to your left here and watch the heads come in. And as Zepeda came across the side of the head of Ramirez, instantly Ramirez reaches up and you could see the blood. That is the first cut suffered in the career of Jose Ramirez. It comes here in a title defense in round number 4.
First time I've ever been cut was in 2008 against Edison Miranda. A clash of heads, but mine came in the first round. But I had Jacob Stitch Duran, one of the best cut men in the business, settled me down. He said, it's okay, I got it, just focus on the fight. I was able to recover and go on to win the fight.
The first time I was cut, it was in a bad spot. It was right above my eyelid, and it actually dripped down in my eye. I couldn't see. But, you know, I learned something from my trainer, Joel Diaz, at the time. He told me if I was ever to be cut, as soon as the referee tie him up, and as soon as the referee comes near me,
right now, it's trainer Robert Garcia who's dealing with that, with Jose Ramirez, and Bernardo's with him.
Robert, how did Jose react to the first cut of his career?
Oh, he's not worried at all. The cut is not, Miguel just doing a great job. He's controlling the cut very well. It was no big deal.
And what was the key to closing the distance in the last couple rounds?
Oh, well, that's what we have to do. Cepeda's fighting a very smart fight on the outside. We got to close the fight.
Joe, back to you.
Good work with the left hand to the body here in the middle of round number 5 from the champ. And when Ramirez can get that left hook going.
Tonight in the build-up and in the offset of this event, and he landed 2 good body shots to the liver of his opponent, and it got his attention. It's what we call in the boxing gym freezing your opponent. He froze him. He didn't know what to do, and that's going to start to tell as this fight continues to go on.
but he's able to inch closer to him because Zepeda's not using his jab consistently. It'll be a lot better for him. He can keep Jose at bay. But now, and he's marching forward, and he's able to land more combinations.
Well, that's one of Ramirez's gifts, is his conditioning. He may not be the most skillful guy, even though he has skill, but his conditioning is second to none, and we're starting to see
so the fifth round, a moment when Ramirez looks like the guy we've seen throughout because of his signature punch. Here it was, the body shot, as he targets that left hand. Right there. More of our title fights to come. Stay with us. Is Basingaroff. Brant Basingaroff is coming your way on ESPN Friday at 9 Eastern. Well, that was some card we had last week down in Frisco, Texas. Folks, you can go onto the app, ESPN Plus. You want to rewatch it. And one of the most dynamic breakthrough stars in the game was everything you expected him to be, with Teofimo Lopez scoring a sensational knockout against Diego Magdaleno. Here we are, round number 6. WBC Junior Welterweight Championship fight with Ramirez and Zepeda.
another clash of heads.
That has been happening frequently.
Yeah, that happens with the southpaw and the right-hander because both of the power punchers lie on the same side. But really, Zepeda, what he's doing is when he lets his hands go, see how he brings his head inside?
Yeah, he's kind of leading with his head a little bit. I don't think it's intentional, but he's definitely doing it.
It's the source of it, not the intent. And with that, we have the first cut in the career of Jose Ramirez, which they have been managing well. That was a clash in the 4th round that caused the cut over the right eye. Always watch the lead foot.
So far, Zepeda looks again like he's supposed to be here. I don't get the sense that he's overwhelmed, and even though he has moments where it looks like he's starting to slowly mentally and physically break down from a psychological standpoint.
Hey, Dre, if you was working the corner of Ramirez, what would you tell Ramirez to get back into this fight?
Even though Ramirez is down, I believe, in this fight, I would try to keep him calm, but I would also have a sense of urgency. I would have to split the difference and tell him, listen, you're okay, but I need you to come behind your jab and let both hands go. That way, it's going to increase the likelihood of him landing the types of shots that he needs to land to slow down Zepeda. Won't do the job.
Not going to do the job. He needs to inch and get a little bit closer. But I would tell him to go down to the body of
Well, that's what WWE here in Fresno. But gently put back on his feet was Zepeda.
That left hand got Ramirez's attention right there.
Great boxing. from Zepeda.
Backing out here at the end of round number 6 as we come to the halfway point of our championship fight as Zepeda continues to box against the champ. Clearly saw a clash in that 4th round that caused that cut, but what are they saying ringside?
The referee went to the commission and confirmed that he called it a punch. So that is huge in terms of the outcome should that cut continue to grow.
And that cut right now is in control. But folks, just to clarify, the difference being and why it's so critical, if ever, it would be a TKO win for Zepeda rather than going to the scorecards for a technical decision by way of a clash of heads.
All right. Obey my commands when I say stop. All right. We're going.
Yeah, both guys leaning in. Exactly. You see Zepeda, every time he shoots a shot, anytime Jose comes in, see him leans in again. Ramirez must change the tide right now. It's going in Zepeda's favor. He's outboxing Ramirez. And if it continues to go this way, well, Ramirez could lose his championship.
Now here's more of that bounce in the step. See if he can close the gap. As he's probing with that jab. But still, it's Zepeda getting out of trouble.
Zepeda is posturing a little bit.
Looking that jab off the hip as a stay away. Keeping that back foot just enough out of the way to get out the back door.
On Ramirez, Zepeda did.
Very impressed with the boxing of Zepeda thus far. I've said it several times on this telecast, but Zepeda has not boxed this well in any of the previous fights that I've seen. He's rising to the occasion tonight. The question is, can he maintain this work rate and close the show?
Cherishing this opportunity. Ramirez tried to land the left hook, and sweeping and missing. And now closing the gap, firing down Zepeda. Able to get away. There's a right hand that comes in from Ramirez. A straight right hand from the champ. Final half minute here, round number 7. Once again looking to land that left to the body.
I mentioned a few seconds ago that Zepeda is looking for a rest.
Stop on the bell.
Round number 8. Of course, 12 rounds, world title fight. And when will that flip happen with Ramirez, where he gets the fight on his terms?
It has to happen soon, Joe, because Ramirez is slowly running out of time.
I like that last round, the end of the last round for Ramirez. As he poured it a little bit on, he started letting his hands go and was inching a little bit closer to Zepeda.
Had that nice straight right hand is the signature punch. You see the power punches in the last round, a 17-10 connect advantage for Ramirez.
Only the second time that Jose Zepeda has seen the 8th round in a 31 fight career.
Combination punch finished with a left hand from Zepeda.
Zepeda is gaining more confidence and more steam coming forward in these rounds.
Ramirez trying to close in. Zepeda ties up. Right uppercut as Zepeda leaned forward. Remember, he told us yesterday, Freddie Roach, who used to train Ramirez, felt he was giving him such insight as the strategy to employ. Just get out of the corner, utilize the jab, take advantage of countering opportunities. But it's the kind of night where you have to stay perfect. You have to stay on point with that.
Yes, absolutely. Zepeda can't afford to slow down. Not any second of this round, because Ramirez is always dangerous. And you know, like you said, Dre, he's conditioned, very well conditioned.
It's a flash of blood under the left eye of Zepeda. And here's where he can't be. And then he goes forward and ties up. The cut, by the way, has worsened around the right eye of Ramirez as he digs in with a left to the body.
These are moments when a boxer is facing a puncher that Ramirez know that I'm not going to be broken tonight.
Oh, a good right hand comes in from the champ. Zepeda defensively flawed for just a moment, and now doubling up the left hook to the body is Ramirez. Trying to close that gap. Another left hand comes in up top. And this is a big finish round number 8 for Jose Ramirez.
Zepeda doing the right thing, holding on, trying to regroup and recover and make it back to the corner.
And he fights back. Wow! Jose Zepeda and Ramirez. What a show they're putting on right here. Ramirez and Zepeda, how we have arrived at this point, and it started with beautiful boxing early on from the title challenger Jose Zepeda. A clash of heads that happened in round number 4 did open up a cut on Jose Ramirez, the first time he's been cut in his career. Finally in round 5, the signature punch, the left hook to the body, but as they rallied through the 8th round, now we got ourselves a title fight, don't we, boys?
That's right. It's starting to heat up. Zepeda sitting still just a little bit too long. Maybe it's fatigue. He hasn't been this late in the fight. And Ramirez coming on strong.
For Zepeda to rally back in those closing seconds after he was clearly affected by Ramirez, wow.
Zepeda was hit with some heavy shots to the head and to the body, and I didn't see any turn in him. I didn't see any quit. Like you said, Joe, he answered Ramirez toward the end of the round. That lets me know that Zepeda is here to win this title tonight.
CompuBox power punches. Ramirez a 93-75 connect advantage. And listen to this crowd as they chant for their homegrown world champion. Over 14,000 from here in the Central Valley of California in Fresno.
Jose Ramirez has to pick up where he left off. He doesn't have the luxury to take any rounds off in hopes that he can land a big shot or maybe pile up enough points where he can try to win a decision.
Well, he's sitting out in front, not using his jab. He needs to use his jab to get to where he needs to be, Dre. And I'm talking about Ramirez, people. Beautiful right hand by him right there.
Comes back with a right lead.
Ramirez is leading with the right hand, and he's countering with the right hand.
You can see that abrasion, a little bit of swelling, a little bit of blood, almost another clash of heads under the left eye. That cut worsened on the left eye of Ramirez in that last round. Looking for the uppercut, misses it, but does go to the body with a right hand, digs in with another right hand to the body.
Vicious, accurate body shots from Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez was taking advantage of Zepeda, complaining about a head, but he steps in and follows with a combination. You see it again. And Ramirez taking advantage of it.
This is a Ramirez round through and through. Combination
vicious
punch.
Body shot.
It was a left hand
Ramirez.
right to that midsection, Dre.
Zepeda is still hurt from that shot. If you notice, Zepeda hasn't really thrown anything. He's still trying to recover from that left hook to the body.
And now Ramirez seemingly taking control here in the later stages.
And he's going right back down to the body.
Zepeda showing a lot of heart right now, fellas.
Yes, he is.
As he has throughout. But can he stay disciplined enough?
And this is to be expected. If you're Zepeda, you're not going to come into the champion's hometown, and you're not going to face a fighter like Jose Ramirez and think that you're not going to have to walk through fire to get that championship belt.
You got to pick and choose your spots to exchange and when to box.
Mark Kriegel, how do you see things? Total punches. Ramirez a 137-111 connect advantage. Body shots, commanding advantage, 42-10, as you would expect. That work done with the left hook mostly.
Ramirez just missed with the right hand right there to the chin of Zepeda.
Ramirez did a good job right there in stepping around to his left. It's exactly where you need to go.
Robert Garcia just told me that he feels that the tide is turning, that Ramirez is breaking down Sean, but he also respects the conditioning of Zepeda down the stretch. He says, but these last 3 rounds are going to be real tough for the visiting fighter.
Yes.
And came over the top with the left hook.
Shooting punches down to the body brings the eyes down to the opponent. Zepeda brought his eyes down just for a split second. Ramirez made him pay with that left hook. He definitely brought the hands down as well, Dre.
Yes, he did. Very key moment in the fight for both fighters. Joe and Tim. Ramirez has to continue to impose his will.
He's giving up ground, Dre, because he's not using his jab. He's abandoned his jab.
And fatigue is setting in.
That's right.
This is only the second time that he's gone 10 rounds in a 31-fight career.
So the more experienced Ramirez is finding a home for his shots now.
Beautiful right hand underneath from Ramirez. I'm shooting the straight right hand because I've had success with that to the chin of Zepeda, but I'm almost exclusively good body shot right there from Zepeda.
Well, it's funny you say that because if I was in Zepeda's corner, I would tell him to go down to Ramirez's side, to slow him down, to take some of the steam off his punches, and to make him think about coming forward.
As he did with an angle and a body shot that was landed moments ago.
Stop! No! No punching.
Still don't think Zepeda has recovered from the body shots in the previous rounds from Ramirez. Good exchange from both fighters.
Good fight throughout.
Yeah, these next two rounds could very well determine the outcome of this fight in either direction.
Championship rounds have arrived. WBC Junior Welterweight World Title. When we sat yesterday with Jose Zepeda, and he put forth the game plan, and it was much of what he was in front of over 14,000 Jose Ramirez fans. I have to take some risk.
Well, Joe,
he just lost these last 4 rounds, in my opinion. Zepeda.
Freddie Roach was clear in his instructions. Freddie Roach said he's got to put him on the canvas. We're the visiting team, and he's got to put him down at least once, as we see a headbutt here.
Another clash, and we'll see if there's blood. They're looking up at the hairline there. Ramirez, the right eye. That was from a clash, but yet being ruled that it was from a punch, according to the referee, Marcos Rosales.
Well, you see right away, Zepeda falling in after throwing a straight left hand. He's not holding his position, and that's the reason why the head clashes are happening.
Well, there was a left hand from the southpaw at the end of that 1-2 that had some success against Ramirez, and now with it, he does try to become the aggressor for the moment.
Beautiful body work from Zepeda right there.
Stop!
There's an uppercut available for Ramirez. Zepeda keeps leaning in, and he falls in after he throws the left hand, just like there. You saw Ramirez trying to lift him up with the uppercut, but Ramirez must time him. Time him with that shot, but he has to use his jab first.
There it is again, the opportunity for the uppercut, but he didn't fire it off.
He threw it over the top and he landed it clean on the chin of Ramirez. Sneaky overhand left.
Sure was.
From Zepeda.
Get off his head! Stop!
Tim, do you think Ramirez, even for a split second, has thought about the fact that he's at home and that he may have some cushion on the scorecards or maybe be given a break if the fight is close?
Absolutely not. That's not in his nature. Ramirez likes to win every single round if he can. And he's going to fight the same way every time. Absolutely not. He's not thinking about that, yeah.
Right hook lead from Zepeda thrown moments ago. Final moments here of round number 11. As Zepeda's second chance at a world title. And for Ramirez trying to stay the course here. He's 23-0.
Stop for the bell! Boxeo, stop! Break clean.
Can he defend the title here? Tim, you said jabs would be the key for Zepeda. He's thrown them, but he's only landed 12 more through 11 rounds.
Just off the mark with the jab, but he's throwing him. But he got away from him.
Most of that work in the first half of this fight.
Robert Garcia told me in the corner, this is a close fight. I'm not saying we're losing, but Chon is fighting a very smart fight. So Jose has to win this round big. And by Jose, I mean Ramirez.
I don't know about you, Tim, but these moments right here are moments that I would dream of. Moments that I would, act out in my living room as a young kid, being in the last round of a championship fight, either fighting for a title or defending a title, outwitting and outgutting and outwheeling my opponent to get my hand raised. This is the moment that both of these fighters are in right now.
Look at the blood streaming down the face of Jose. You look at these two proud Mexican-American warriors. worthy of a night like this, giving everything they can.
Both fighters are tired. Both fighters have taken good straight left from Zepeda right there.
Very strong left hand from the title challenger.
Something to attach yourself to that's going to make you stronger. And right now, both fighters. You see the straight right hand from Ramirez.
30 seconds to go. Does Zepeda have the answer? Can Ramirez hold on and retain the title?
20 seconds left.
Freddie Roach put forth a good game plan for Zepeda, but he executed it well. And Ramirez answered in the second half. And now coming down the stretch, he's turning it on a little bit. 5 seconds. Ramirez in front of the home fans. They're on their feet in Fresno. That was an excellent world title fight. Zepeda over-delivers. Ramirez comes on strong. And which way will it go?
Judge Rey Danseco scores the bout 114-114, even a draw. Overruled by judges Glenn Trowbridge, who sees the bout 115-113, and Judge Chris Tellez, who scores the bout 116-112 in favor of the winner, and still champion Jose Ramirez.
With his family ringside and his son Mateo in his arms, Jose Ramirez celebrates a victory.